horse lovers, hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to be doing some work with my Appaloosa Pongo. So he is primarily Western trained, but today we're going to do some English and some jumping. So I'll give you some tips on how I started working him with English, riding, and starting him over some small cross rails, okay? So hope you enjoy. Okay, so we're gonna warm up with some walk, trot, canter, flat work, a little bit of backing, and a few other things. So Pongo is primarily a Western horse his whole life. He's 20 years old, and I've had him for a few months now. I don't think he'd ever done any English work, so we've been doing a lot of English work on the flat and just getting him used to not dropping his head constantly, but you'll see that a little bit like when we transition. He's very light and responsive, so that's a pleasure, but it's been really fun. We've been doing a lot of work going over ground poles and getting him to understand to lift his feet. So now it's time to take him over a few cross rails and some small fun jumps where he can learn to pick up his feet. Looking forward to seeing how he does. He has a really big rocking canter, so it is not the most comfortable, but it's fun and it covers ground. And as you can see, I have my horse Pascal there, teaching him to just stand while we're doing our own thing, and I think that's really important that horses learn to ground tie. Okay, I'm going to halt and ask him to back a little bit. So when I'm asking him to back, I'm being very light with my fingertips and barely using any pressure. So he's really soft, and that's really great. Okay, that was good. He was light, so we're going to move forward. If you look close right there, he tried to drop his head, so I just lightly kind of lifted, telling him keep your head up, because he really wants to drop that nose down, like really far. So I just am working on him, keeping it up a little bit so he can kind of look where he's going and lift his feet. So I'm just going back and forth between sitting the canter and pointing the canter, just as an exercise for myself and kind of getting off his back. And you see he has a good halt on him. Definitely has that Western foundation. Sometimes it's kind of hard when I'm in my English or dressage saddle. Now we're going to be doing some halt straight to canter transitions. As you can see, he picked up the wrong lead there. His inside leg should be forward, where it's opposite currently. He really wants to stop where Pascal is, so it's a good exercise for him too, knowing, yeah, we don't stop when a horse is in the arena. Okay, now we're going to move on to ground poles and cross rails. So before, when I first got him, I started him over ground poles while he was on the lunge line, because he literally would just slam into them. Like, he did not understand to lift his feet. So we've been doing that, and he's gotten really good at understanding to lift his feet over the ground poles. Sometimes he comes in a little crooked like that, but for the most part, he does a good job. So that's why I feel like, okay, like there's nothing wrong with moving on to like cross rails and small little obstacles that allow him to lift his shoulder and his feet. And I'm sure today it's not going to be like glorious, but you got to start somewhere, guys. yeah, I'm all about versatility. I feel like it's really good when somebody has just one discipline that they work on and they can be a master at that. And I think that's great, but I really like just doing different things with my horses and just being more of like a jack of all trades. And I think it's super fun, and I like doing a little bit of everything. So that's kind of what I strive for at my farm and with my equines. Okay, now we're going to try to go over some cross pulls. I have the ground pull there to kind of set him up for it, and hopefully he lifts. Okay, that was pretty good. So now I'm just going to continue on with our exercises, and then we'll talk more about it at the end. Okay, so he did super good. We're just going to cool down and relax for a little while.
Like her whole little,
Oh, that was cool.
like, and she even has a...
So I think overall that was pretty good, considering he has not really jumped before or anything like that. And he's been a Western horse for like 17, 18 years. He's 20 years old, so his whole life. So I think that was super fun. Hope you guys liked this video. If you could do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. See ya.